Bobi Wine does not love our people. Bobi Wine does not love our people. But only that, Bobi Wine has always been very smart. Very, very smart. He does not love our people. Bobi Wine does not love the youth of Uganda. He does not love the youth of East Africa. Bobi Wine does not love the youth of Africa, though he claims so much that he loves the youth, he loves our people. It is a lie. Bobi Wine, I don't know how I can describe him. In Kiswahili word, I can only say Bobi Wine is a mukora. Huyu jamani mukora kabisa. Hana any love for anybody. Bobi is a pure mukora. He does not love anybody, but he is doing business. For those who cannot believe, I am so sorry. Because me being a victim of Bobi Wine's foolery, I can confess and always can confess till some other people understands what Bobi Wine is. Bobi Wine is not the person you people think. So many of us thought that Bobi Wine is a genius. But Bobi Wine, in other words, is a user. He is a user. A very big user. He has used so many people. Bobi Wine has used so many people, me inclusive. But now, we who have been victims of Bobi Wine's foolery, we are the ones to open the eyes of other youth. We are to open the eyes of the youth. We are to open the eyes of our fellow Ugandans who always think that Bobi is a leader, yet he is not. Bobi is a mukora. Bobi Wine is only taking advantage of our ignorance. Our ignorance on so many things. Bobi is taking advantage of the poor people who have always been crying for help. Bobi has got no package for us. For those who think I am lying, very soon I am coming out. By the way, I can no longer accept, I can't accept Bobi Wine to keep fooling Ugandans, to keep fooling Africans that he is a savior. Bobi Wine is not a savior to anybody. He is not going to be any savior for us, but rather a thief, someone who takes advantage of the poor, someone who has been taking advantage of the youth. Bobi has always been climbing up because of our ignorance on so many things. He came as a savior, but he came to enrich, first of all, himself, then his relatives, his family, and friends. You look around, try to check on the people who live around Bobi Wine. Try to check them very well. Start with the Nubian Lee. Is Nubian Lee living a happy life just like Bobi Wine lives? Try to check on Nubian Lee very well. Recently, I met Nubian Lee. He is even different from the Nubian Lee I used to know. Meaning, Bobi Wine has always been making sure that he only enrich himself first before he can think about others. It is openly seen on Nubian Lee. And that's why recently I wanted to take Nubian Lee away from Bobi Wine. And I still intend to remove Nubian Lee away from Bobi Wine. Because Bobi is only using Nubian Lee. Imagine such a talent in Nubian Lee. Nubian Lee is going to be around Bobi Wine for all his life, but with nothing, no gain completely. He will not gain anything. Bobi is a user. He has used so many youth of Uganda, youth of Africa. We have always supported Bobi, thinking that he is our savior, but he is not. Bobi Wine is a savior to his family, his friends, and in-laws. Period. Don't expect much from Bobi Wine, because he will not do anything for you, but he will always fight to make sure economically his family, his relatives, and friends are okay. But I'm sorry for Nubian Lee, because the type of friendship or relationship between Nubian Lee and Bobi shouldn't have made Nubian Lee to remain behind, so much behind like this. I am still insisting that I would love to remove Nubian Lee away from Bobi Wine, because he's a user. He used me, he used Butcherman, he used so many people. He is now using Nubian Lee and so many other youth. Ladies and gentlemen, countrymen and women, I am only coming here to open your eyes. I want to remain telling you that Bobi Wine does not love us. He does not love our people. He is a pretender. He is only using the chance and opportunity he has got to raise more money for himself and his family. Try to check on his brothers. Bobi Wine and brothers are building grofers after grofers, premises after premises. But when our own children are being arrested for him, are being killed for him, our children are being kidnapped because of Bobi Wine's activity. But for us, who know exactly what Bobi is, when we try to tell the rest, people think that we are against Bobi, we are jealous. People think that we don't love Bobi. We love Bobi, not Bobi loving us. Bobi is just a pretender who pretends that he loves us, but when he only wants to use us for his gains. Economically, Bobi Wine has been using Ugandan youth for his gains. And it's time we must tell him that enough is enough. He's not going to confuse us anymore. Let him continue building his family members, making them entrepreneurs, making them rich community, but while using other youth, people's children, to be as slaves for them. We are not going to accept. Bobi is a user. My fellow youth, boys and girls, Ugandan youth, stay away from Bobi. I am coming with very many reasons. More than 50 reasons why I can confirm to you that Bobi is a user. A user, a misleader is Bobi Wine. He is very rich today. Not because he works so hard, but because he has been so smart in confusing the youth so that he can get too rich at the expense of Ugandans. I am going to move from region to region to preach to the rest of the youth and other Ugandans to know more about the most dangerous Ugandan who claim to be our leader, our savior, yet is a criminal himself. A user, a greedy man, very selfish. He does not want any youth to prosper, but only him and family. I am going round Uganda. I will start from northern Uganda, Achuli sub-region, Lao sub-region, Aluru, Jonam, Teso, Lugwara, Madika, Kwa, Aringa. I will go to Karamoja, Lao, Teso. I will go everywhere. Central Uganda, Western Uganda, Northern Uganda. I'm starting with you. I need to let our youth know how Bobi has been using us. Ugandan singers community. I will be having sessions and sessions with you. Meetings after meetings with you. I want you to know that Bobi Wine has always been using us, Ugandan singers, for his own gains. He claims to be too smart, but this time round, I will expose Bobi Wine completely. And also, I worked with him. So for you who did not work, with Bobi, you should know I worked with him, and I have all evidences to pin him down. I have all evidences to expose him the more. Bobi should stop using us, the youth, using us Ugandans for his own gains. He has not come to liberate anybody, but he has come to liberate his family economically. He has come, Bobi Wine has come to liberate his family. First of all, his children, his family, his relatives and friends. Though I still pity Nubian Lee, who is a true friend to Bobi Wine, but his life is miserly. I can see he is living miserly. He is not supported by Bobi fully to our expectation. Yet, it is because of Nubian Lee. That's why, musically, Bobi can also speak in public. Selfish man, very greedy. Ugandans, I want to open your eyes. I tried to open your eyes long time ago on Bobi, but it seems you are still stuck on somebody who is taking advantage of the poor. He has already known exactly the cry of Ugandan people, but he has not come in a good way. He is not genuine. He has not come as a savior, but he has come as a user. He's getting rich, more rich at the expense of the poor majority Ugandans. And we must make people know about this. Bobi is not for us. Bobi Wine is for himself, his children, his family, relatives and friends. Period. When you look around and see how his brothers are building in Uganda. You see how his brothers are making money. You see how his family is getting more rich. Then you will know what I'm talking about. Bobi Wine is not for us. Our youth of Uganda, follow Boss Miko team. You will be rich. Period.